Hello, guys. So, today I am going to tell you a story. It's regarding a new mom. So, it all started in Cyprus. As paradox as it sounds, it was a very cold and rainy day. So, this lady, this new mom, woke up. She was very happy, despite the fact it was in November, despite the fact it was very raining. In her heart, it was spring. She stood in front of the mirror and she saw something that made her a bit uneasy. She saw a spot. She saw a very big bruise that it was growing. She ignored it for several days, but that day it was quite obvious that something was not quite right. She turned to her 6 months son so she could get a smile. But instead of a smile, the little boy started crying and crying. She breathed, she looked up the sky and prayed. She thought, oh my God, that is definitely not a good sign. Her heart was feeling a bit uneasy. So, in order to relax and feel much better, she said, probably I should do some blood tests. I should run some blood tests. She did the tests and she was waiting for the results. The way to the hospital was the longest drive she ever had. The drive is usually 10 minutes, but she thought she was in the car for hours. When she arrived at the hospital, she went into this big waiting room. All of the people were wearing masks. Bear in mind that was in 2013, so wearing masks was a bit of a rare thing to view. Most of the people had hats, and some of them did not even have hair. She stood there, looked around, and as of a sudden, her name was called. The doctor said it was an emergency. She just realized that for her to get the blood test results, she had to go through a doctor called hematologist. So she went into the office, and the doctor said to her, I'm sorry to inform you, but you have been diagnosed with leukemia. All of a sudden, everything collapsed around her. She stood up without a second thought. She opened the door and started wanting to leave the room. The doctor said to her, well, you have to stay. You have to stay now. You have to be hospitalized today. Her only thought was, oh my God, I have to breastfeed my son. I need to go back. My son needs me. So she opened the door and without a second thought, she started running. She started running in the hospital. The doctors were mumbling behind her. She couldn't hear, she couldn't see. She was just trying to run away. I think she was just trying to run away from leukemia. The people tried to stop her. They were telling her, it's an emergency. You have to stay in the hospital. Her only concern was nothing. Her only concern was to go and breastfeed her son. She started running towards the exit. The people were still telling her something she couldn't hear. She went into the church. There she called her mom. She said to her, Mom, it's the worst thing that we could imagine. Her mom couldn't speak. She couldn't hear her. She stood in the church for several minutes. She thought they were hours. After a couple of minutes, her husband arrived. He hugged her. She stood and said to him, "Please take care of our little baby." He turned, and he said, "We will take care of our baby. We will take care of our baby together." That was it. She stood up, collected all her puzzles that fall off of her. She left, went to her house, took her son and made him a promise. "I will be back." The next day, she went to the battlefield. Yes, it was a battlefield. She fought for several months. Along with her, there were several other fighters. They were giving their own fight. Their parents, they were giving their own fight to put a smile on their face. Her husband was giving his own fight, trying to collect everything, every single moment, and put it in his heart. He was trying to raise a 6-month-old boy. But he was fighting for it. He was fighting to keep that mom alive in her heart, alive in her spirit. The thing that made her fall apart was the day that the doctor came and said to her, "Well, unfortunately, we do not have any other medicine for you to cure you. There's nothing in the whole world that could cure you. The only thing that is going to be able to totally cure you, it's another human being. You need to find a donor. You need to find the matching cells for your cells in order for you to save you. We need to find a hero." So there were several people trying to find the hero to save her. The good news came. There was a match. There was a hero. So, in the middle of August, a hero gave her some of his cells. And then she started feeling the spring. She started feeling more relaxed. She was grateful for that donor. She was grateful for her hero. That hero did not save her only. She saved the mom, the only child, the wife. Do not hesitate. Be that hero. Only you can save somebody. Only you can save a whole family. Because when somebody's gone, it's not just one person. It's not just one person. It's a mother, it's a sister, it's a whole family. Thank you for listening today. And I hope that you can be a donor. You can be a bone marrow donor. Make it happen. Bring the spring to the people that they need it. Thank you.